So yeah, we are now gonna see the respiratory system. So basically the respiratory system basically include, as we have know, the two mechanisms. Basically the respiration, that is the in the cell, the basically the food is breaking down to get energy, and the other is the mechanism by which the air enters. So basically we're gonna see the by the respiratory system, we're gonna see the mechanism which air enters. So first of all, if we say the structure of lungs, that looks like this. Here are trachea. They begin so initial bronchiole, and then tertiary bronchioles. Initial bronchiole, then obviously initial bronchiole, then for 1 degree bronchiole and 2 degree bronchiole, third and tertiary, then for quaternary bronchioles, and basically last we can say there is alveoli. Alveoli basically is the structure of vascular balloon-like structure which air exchange take place. So the air enter nostrils through which it passes from pyrexis, then larynx, then trachea, that break into bronchi, then bronchioles. Finally, alveoli, vascular bag-like structure that are delicate with blood vessel for exchange of gases. So basically, what actually happens when the air enters the nostrils and then it's passed through the pharynx and the larynx. Basically, there is a food pipe above which is the epiglottis. So basically, epiglottis is closed down when food or air passes through it, and when the air food passes through its port, and obviously when air passes, the epiglottis open up for the passage of air. So basically, what happened actually? So when the air passes the nostril through which it passes through pharynx, then to larynx, and then to trachea, it break into bronchial, that initially to bronchiole, and finally alveoli. Alveoli are basically vascular structure that are delegated with blood vessels for the exchange of gases. So basically, what actually happened when air enter the diaphragm, go straight, ribs up, increase volume of lungs, air enters. When ribs down and diaphragm inflate, then air moves out. Basically, when happen when the air enters, the diaphragm is straightened, and obviously the ribs large up. So basically the air volume inside it decreases, and so as the air volumes inside is increases, sorry, so as the air volume increases, air pressure decrease, that lead to the outside the atmospheric pressure to come inside, and that lead to air coming inside. And when the ribs down and diaphragm flatten, that the air moves out. As volume decreases, pressure increases. As of atmospheric pressure, so air goes out. So here we can see the last that we can see that when the air enters from pyrex is go to larynx, that is voice box, contain glottis. Basically this is the common passes of food and air. So basically when it goes through, air goes through the glottis, that there is a fab like structure, the epiglottis, that basically close down. Epiglottis close to prevent entry of food to windpipe. At the same time there are cartilages ring to prevent passes to collapse, like trachea to respiratory bronchioles. First, the air enters through the nodules, through which passes through the pyrex, then through larynx, and the trachea. Then it breaks into bronchioles, then bronchial, and finally alveolar vascular structures that are delegated with the blood supply for the exchange of gases. And when air enters, the diaphragm straight up, ribs up, moves up, volume of the lungs increases, and so the air pressure decreases. Ribs go down, diaphragm inflated, and the air moves out. As the vapor pressure volume decreases, and the pressure of the pressure increases as of atmospheric pressure, so air goes out. Pyrex, larynx, the voice box that contain epiglottis. Basically, epiglottis have a fab-like structure that's called glottis. This epiglottis are fab-like structure, epiglottis, which basically close to prevent the entry of air to the food pipe. At the same time, there are cartilages ring to prevent the passage from coronary. These rings are from trachea to the respiratory bronchioles.